Welcome. It's good to see all the Sosas together. It seemed like just yesterday we celebrated 15 years here. Right? I think it was just yesterday. Today is a Saturday. Today we get to send Sara off to her next ministry, and the potential of what she's going to do down in Burnsville is going to be amazing. We're excited. And what I like about this is you're close enough that we can still bring you back to do things. And we're going to do that, I promise, because we're going to hold Mateo hostage. Do you know that? You might be going, but he's staying. Yeah, he's staying. Oh, take him. Emma said, take him. Okay. Yeah, I love my brother too. It's interesting as I think about tonight. Sara, you've been a great friend of mine, friend of this church. You've been a great leader, a champion for families and children. But what you've really been is a daughter of the Most High God. Thank you for being an example of that to us. I've said this many times, and I do mean this. Your fingerprints are all over this church. Your love, your heart, your passion, your gifts, your vision, seeing what God wants to do. So I just want to say thank you. But not just me. There's a bunch of us. So I'm going to ask Rachel to lead her horde, if she would come up. And everybody else, if you'd come and join us. I had a whole bunch of people just write some comments for you on a board, and that's what we have for you. And Rachel is kind of the mastermind of this. So I'm going to hand her the microphone, and she's going to share a little bit, and then we're going to pray for you. So here you go, Rachel.
Thank you. I know, I just feel like this day, this last weekend here to get to be with you has just kind of snuck up on us all. Probably feel the same way. And it certainly is just very bittersweet as we think about you getting ready to leave and saying goodbye, but we are all just so excited about the next adventure that God has for you at Faith. And I know when you and I were talking, you had shared how you found yourself almost kind of in a wrestling match or arguing with God about, okay, do you really want me to go and make this transition, God? And I love that you just took the time to really listen and discern his voice for that, and your obedience to following what he was asking you to do, even though it's hard. And I love what God does with us in those wrestling matches, right? He kind of exercises and strengthens muscles, that we might not even know that we had, and he blesses us in that process. And I have no doubt that you said, okay, God, but you're going to have to bless me in this. And we just want you to know that your whole church family is praying blessings over you guys for this transition, and just wishing you the very best. And like Dan alluded, it's not like it's goodbye forever, because I know my family and the high school group is super excited that our paths will keep crossing, and that Mateo's going to be plugged in here in Ignite and 7:50 on Wednesdays and Saturdays with the high school, and we know that God will keep crossing our paths together. So we're excited for that. So we have this little gift for you here. I'm going to let you pull it out of the bag. And this is just some a sampling of the representation of the people at Plymouth Covenant Church that love you, from pastors and staff to ministry workers and high schoolers whose lives you've touched, expressing our sentiment and love for you and your family and what you've done. And we will put it out on the easel for people to get to read a little more closely this weekend. But the verse in the middle says, because we loved you so much, we were delighted to share with you not only the gospel of God, but our lives as well, from 1 Thessalonians 2:8. And so we love you, and this church would not be the same place it is without you here. So thank you for everything.
I'm going to try to do this without crying, and it may not actually work, but I'm going to work on it. This church has given us incredible blessing through the year. And those of you who are new here, stay around. Stay around. Stay plugged in with your small groups, with your ministries, with your families, with the kids ministry, junior high school. I have two amazing adult children standing next to me tonight, and they are very much a product of this church. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, but you and Carlos are such great parents, and we'll take that accolade. We'd like to think we're great, but the truth is, you don't raise your kids on your own. And anyone who thinks they can is fooling themselves. You absolutely have to have the church in the journey with you if you want your kids to know and love Jesus and choose him and put him at the center of your life no matter what you do. My kids are making those choices daily because so many of you have poured into them, from Cubby's leaders all the way up to high school and mentors. I know my kids have called on their mentors, their small group leaders, in times when they just needed somebody with them. And this is what you want. Parents of young kids who are in here, stay here for the long haul. This church is getting it right. It understands how to walk alongside you to raise your kids to know and love Jesus. And those of you who are beyond those kid years, come back. Plug into the kids and the youth of this church. They need you so much. In the world the way it is today, and the world it's going to be for years and decades to come, if we want this generation to grow up to know and love Jesus, they need each and every one of you walking alongside them. Bring all of your mistakes, bring all of your humbleness, bring all of your wisdom, everything you've got, and pour it back into the next generation. It is our only hope, is that you'll show up and do that. So you can honor us best by agreeing to do that tonight in any way you can. It doesn't mean you have to volunteer in children's ministry, although we would love it if you did, especially in the interim. And the other thing I would ask for is if you could just join us in praying for the next children's pastor who's going to come to this church. That God already knows who that is, and I'm just so excited, and I'm going to be waiting and praying alongside all of you to find out where this church is going to go next with kids and families. So join us in that prayer as this church searches and opens themselves up to a new partner in ministry to walk alongside all of you and our kids. It's going to be fantastic. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for the 15 years that you've given to us. And for sending us with such a lovely gift. I started to read that and like, ooh, can't do that here. I'll never make it. So I'll read that at home with my box of tissues. It'll be great. But anyway, it's just been a tremendous privilege. So thank you.